Hello everyone, I'm Angela Lee Duckworth. Do you know what you want? Not what others expect of you, not what sounds good on paper, but what you truly want. That question is simple, but answering it honestly takes courage. Most people spend their lives chasing what looks like success, but deep down, they're unsure why it matters to them. We confuse being busy with being fulfilled. We follow routines. We set goals. But if you paused right now and asked yourself, is this what I really want? What would your answer be? Wanting something deeply is not enough. You have to be willing to struggle for it, to show up when it's boring, when it's hard, when it looks like nothing is working. The people who achieve meaningful success aren't the ones with perfect plans. They're the ones who are clear about what they want and relentless in going after it. Most of us grow up learning how to fit in. We're taught to follow rules, meet expectations, and do what's considered right by society's standards. We go to school, choose careers that sound impressive, and often pursue goals that we didn't choose. We inherited them. And while that path might look successful on the outside, it leaves many people feeling empty on the inside. Why? Because conformity rewards comfort, but clarity fuels purpose. Clarity is knowing what truly matters to you. It's having a vision for your life that isn't borrowed or secondhand. It's standing in front of a mirror, asking yourself what you value, and being willing to listen, even if the answer scares you. Conformity, on the other hand, is easy. It's safe, it gives us a script to follow, and for a while, that can feel like progress. But if you're moving fast in the wrong direction, are you really getting closer to where you want to be? People often confuse approval with fulfillment. We think if others applaud our choices, then we must be on the right path. But real clarity doesn't always win applause. It sometimes means stepping away from the crowd. It might mean choosing a less traveled road or saying no to opportunities that don't align with your purpose. And that's hard, but that's what makes it powerful. Clarity gives you the strength to endure setbacks because you're not just chasing a goal. You're pursuing a calling. You're anchored. When you're clear on what you want, you stop being reactive and start being intentional. You say yes more deliberately. You say no more confidently. You make decisions not to impress others, but to honor yourself. It doesn't happen overnight. Finding clarity is a process. It comes from asking hard questions. From failing, from learning, from paying attention to what excites you and what drains you. It's built through reflection, not reaction. Through curiosity, not comparison. And here's the truth. The world needs less conformity and more clarity. We don't need more people following trends. We need more people brave enough to know what they stand for and what they're working toward. Clarity doesn't guarantee ease, but it does bring peace. It aligns your actions with your values. It brings meaning to your effort, so stop waiting for permission to live the life you want. Start by getting clear about what you believe, clear about what you value, clear about what you want to give and what you refuse to settle for. Because once you have clarity, you won't need to conform. You'll have direction, and that's where your real strength begins. We often talk about hard work, discipline, and goals, but there's one ingredient to meaningful growth that gets overlooked: self-honesty. Without it, all the effort in the world can leave you climbing the wrong mountain. Self-honesty is not about criticizing yourself. It's not about guilt or shame. It's about having the courage to see yourself clearly, to face your truth without running from it or dressing it up to please others. Most people don't struggle because they lack ability. They struggle because they're not being honest about what they want, how much they care, or what they're actually willing to do. It's easier to make excuses than to confront your own patterns. It's easier to blame your circumstances than to admit when you're holding yourself back. But real progress only begins when you stop pretending and start telling yourself the truth. Ask yourself, what do I really want? Not what would look good, not what someone else wants for me, but what I want. That question sounds simple, but answering it with full honesty is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. Why? Because it requires peeling away layers of noise, ego, and expectation. It demands that you own your fears, your limitations, and your desires all at once. Self-honesty is essential because it brings alignment. When your actions reflect your inner truth, you build trust with yourself. That trust becomes confidence. That confidence becomes momentum. But without that honesty, you're constantly in conflict. You say one thing and do another. You chase goals that don't fulfill you. You wake up tired not because you worked hard, but because you're out of alignment. It also means being real about your weaknesses, not in a way that tears you down, but in a way that frees you. When you're honest about what you need to improve, you stop fearing failure. You stop hiding behind perfection. You start showing up with humility and hunger. That's where growth lies, not in pretending to be perfect, but in being real enough to change. Self-honesty can be uncomfortable, but it's the foundation of self-respect. You cannot build a meaningful life on denial or avoidance. You have to be able to look in the mirror and say, "This is where I am. This is what I want. This is what I need to change." No filters, no stories. Just the truth, and here's the beautiful part. When you begin to live with honesty, everything gets clearer. Your choices become simpler. Your relationships deepen. Your purpose sharpens. You stop wasting energy on being someone you're not, and start investing it into becoming the person you were always meant to be. So be brave enough to get honest with yourself, not once, but daily, because the truth, even when it's hard, will always lead you further than a well-polished lie.